Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Wellness FOURplay podcast. I am your host, Dr. Dondee Nettles, and tonight we're going to be talking about breast implant illness. But we've already mentioned breast implant illness, or BII, on two previous episodes. Those would be episode 22 and episode 31, and they are going to be in the show notes. I will put them in the description of today's episode because today is a 4-minute drill. We're just going to briefly touch over this because it is something that I wasn't even planning on talking about tonight. But over the last 4 days, I've met two people that have recently been explanted because of breast implant illness. Explant is the opposite of breast implant. It's when the breast implants are taken out. So again, 4-minute drill. Let's just talk about some statistics. One of the things about breast implant illness, it describes a wide range of symptoms from fatigue to chronic joint and muscle pain, and more than 365,000 women received breast implants in 2021. 365,000. That's just here in the US. And that is an increase of 44% over 2020. So breast implants are going up significantly. And so therefore is breast implant illness. In fact, it is something that isn't even agreed upon by plastic surgeons and a lot of doctors because let's face it, it's part of their income. So if they can deny it's there, it creates controversy. But here's something that's refreshing with that. The FDA in late 2021 put black box warnings, mandatory to put black box warnings on breast implants. However, the doctors rarely ever, if ever, show that black box warning, just like you'd see on cigarettes, to the patients who are receiving the implant. So it is definitely much misunderstood, not talked about a lot, which is why I want to go over this briefly. But again, remember episode 22 and episode 31, the information is in the show notes and in the description of today's show. But let's talk about some illnesses or some symptoms. How would you know even if you have breast implant illness? Well, the obvious, you have to have had breast implants. But here's some common symptoms: chronic fatigue syndrome, joint and muscle pain, brain fog, hair loss, insomnia, symptoms of thyroid dysfunction, anxiety, skin rashes, depression, dry eyes, GI or intestinal issues, persistent viral infections, headaches, ears ringing, back pain, joint pain, unexplained symptoms that just make no sense. Going to the doctor repeatedly and have them run tests and go, we don't know what's going on. And you start to think it's all in your head, but it may just be all in your breasts. It's one of the things that is very, very more, it's becoming much more common, the conversation, which is why I wanted to briefly address it here, because just in the last 4 days, I've met two women that have had explants. And we know, and in fact, my wife, Marcy, went through this entire process a couple years ago. In fact, I think next month will be 2 years. The doctor that did her explant used to be 100% doing breast implant surgery. Now he does over 300 explants per year. That is multiple per day if you look at the work week. Unbelievable. It's becoming that much of an issue. So please go watch episode 22 and episode 31. Learn more about it. The last thing I want to share with you, what are some of the risks of breast implants? The rupture of the capsule, whether it's silicone or saline, ruptured implants. There is also a form of lymphoma, non-Hodgkin lymphoma, called breast implant associated lymphoma. And it only happens with women who've received breast implants. So go check that out. And some other: Sjogren's syndrome, autoimmune disorders, polymyositis, mixed connective tissue diseases. So here's the situation. Basically this: if you have symptoms that you cannot explain, that move around, that doctors can't find out what it is, all the tests come back normal, you're starting to think it's all in your head, maybe start thinking it may be all in your chest, and get a recommendation, have an exam done, go to a doctor who does breast implant removal or explants, and see where it goes. You may just be surprised. And signing off tonight, make sure to go back and watch or listen to episode 22 and episode 31. The breast implant discovery that we shared in episode 22, and in episode 31, my wife Marcy's journey through the explant process and healing. Thanks for tuning in tonight. Hopefully this opened your eyes. Check it out. Breast implant illness. See y'all tomorrow. Have a great night and God bless.